Types of sentences. We can divide the sentences based on function. Sentences are classified into 4 types depending on what they do. Declarative sentences or statement. What is declarative sentences? A sentence that gives information or states a fact or opinion. For example, the sun rises in the east. It's a fact. I love reading books. It's a person's opinion. And one more thing we need to note, a declarative sentence always ends with a full stop. Second one, interrogative sentences or questions. Definition: a sentence that asks a question. For example, where are you going? Do you like ice cream? Always point out that these sentences end with a question mark. The next one, imperative sentences. Command, request or advice. For giving a command or a request or an advice, we are using certain kinds of sentences. Those are called imperative sentences. A sentence that gives a command, request or advice. For example, sit down please. Don't run in the corridor. Here the thing we note that the subject you is understood, not written. There is no need to return the subject. It's already understood. And the last one in this section, exclamatory sentences. Strong feelings. To convey our strong feelings, we are using certain kinds of expressions. Such expressions are called exclamatory sentences. A sentence that shows strong emotion, just like happiness, surprise or anger, etc. For example, what a beautiful day. Oh no, I forgot my homework. So these kinds of sentences always end with an exclamation mark also. Next, based on structure or grammar and clause, here we look at the number of clauses in a sentences. Based on that, we can divide the sentences as simple sentence. Definition: a sentence with one independent clause. For example, she is reading. The dog barked loudly. In these sentences, we can find only one clause, one independent clause. So, such kinds of sentences are called simple sentences. Next one, compound sentence. A sentence with 2 or more independent clauses, usually joined by coordinating conjunctions like for, and, nor, but, or, yet, so. So, what is a compound sentence? A sentence which includes 2 independent clauses and they are connected by the conjunctions like for, and, nor, but, or, yet, so. For example, I want to play outside, but it started raining. She liked tea and he likes coffee. These are 2 independent clauses. They are joined by the conjunctions. The next one, complex sentences. A sentence with one independent clause plus 1 or more dependent or subordinate clauses. That means a sentence which contains one independent clause and 1 or more dependent clause will be there. For example, I stayed home. It's an independent clause because it was raining. So that is a dependent clause. She smiled when she saw her friend. She smiled is an independent clause, but when she saw her friend, that's a dependent or subordinate clause. So such sentences are called complex sentences. And the last one, compound complex sentences. A sentence with 2 or more independent clauses plus at least one dependent clause. A sentence which contains 2 or more independent clauses and at least one dependent clauses. Such kinds of sentences are called compound complex sentences. For example, I wanted to go to the park, but it was raining, so I stayed at home. Here in this sentence, I want to go to the park is one independent clause. It was raining, that is an independent clause. So I stayed home, that is the dependent clause. The example, she was tired, it's a independent clause. But she finished her homework, that's also one independent clause. Because the teacher asked for it, that is a dependent clause. So These kinds of sentences are called compound complex sentences.